Many times when we examine health, we only think about our physical health. Today, we know that we need to take a more holistic approach when looking at our health. Yeah, physical health is important. We want our body to function correctly and feel good. But mental health also must be examined. Am I making good choices? Do I feel good about myself? Emotional health. Am I in positive control of my emotions? Am I doing things in a mature way that others would look up to? Social health. Do I coexist? Do I get along with others? Spiritual health. Am I feeling at peace with the universe? Do I feel all right with myself and how I belong into things? Um, all of these incorporate our overall health. And as we grow, we need to develop in certain areas to ensure we take care of our overall health. We need to look at our education, our economical situation, develop our social skills, and ensure we live in an environment that's healthy. Educators might say the quality of life includes your physical, mental, and social well being. They talk about a health triangle. Holistic practitioners would add the spiritual and the emotional well being to that. And in some countries, they believe it's a balance between yin and yang, the forces of good and evil. Either way you look at it, the buzzword of how well you're practicing holistic health is well being. Your well being has a lot to do with how you're balancing things. Are you performing too many leisure activities like watching TV or playing video games? If that's the case, that'll affect your well being and pull you in one direction. How about your social participation? Do you text a lot? Are you constantly on Facebook? Are you Twittering? Doing all sorts of these things? That throws you in one direction and you don't balance the rest of your life. Some people go directly from school and go directly to work, and they work from till close. And then that pulls you directly where you're constantly tired and constantly working, and that affects your well being and everywhere else. How would you rate your health in all these areas surrounding well being? We know this with holistic health. If you affect one area, one piece of the pie, you affect all the other areas in some regards. Let's take this example. Let's say you're not doing well in the class. You decide not to study for your final and you fail it. Therefore, failing the class and you have to retake it again next year. Why, this has affected your emotional health. You're upset, you're mad. You go outside, your girlfriend or boyfriend comes up to talk to you and you bite their head off, hollering and screaming at them. Therefore, they break up with you. That night, you can't sleep. All this stuff is bugging you, and therefore it puts a drain on your physical health. Later, you start feeling bad about your self-esteem. You no longer have your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you know that you have to retake this course should have passed. In the meantime, you're not at all concerned with your spiritual health or the environment itself. All those things get neglected. So when you screw up with one area of your life, it can affect several other areas when it's dealing with your holistic health approach. A health status. A health status is when we examine your health behaviors and your risk behaviors, weigh them together, and we try to figure out what your health status is. In this county, they actually took a survey and wanted to find out the health status of the members of their county. At the x-axis, they measured time by years, and in the y-axis, they actually measured what percent of health these people believe they had based upon their risk and health behaviors. Above, they have a legend describing whether it's excellent, very good, good, fair, or poor. Of course, if you look at this graph in this chart, you can see it in 2010. It looks like something happened in the county where more people believed they were in very good health and more people believed they were in excellent health. The county might examine what some of the practices they did, and maybe they did something with their health department. Maybe they put out flyers. Maybe they had billboards all over the county trying to promote some form of good health. But overall, the people in the community believed they had better health than they'd had in previous years. We can always look at charts and graphs and determine and predict data and make decisions on how we want to incorporate things in the future. Healthful behaviors. Well, these are actions that prevent illnesses and accidents. They promote health for you and others. They improve the quality of the environment. Number one, well, you could wear a seat belt when you drive. Two, you could ensure that when you throw your trash away, you don't throw it 10 blocks down the road in somebody else's property. You actually put it in the trash. And number three, what if you actually sorted through your trash and recycled everything that you could? Down below, there's behaviors that you could actually incorporate into your life that would be healthful behaviors. Risk behaviors. These are actions that increase the likelihood of illness or accidents. For example, again, you're not wearing that seatbelt and you're driving. Or two, it threatens your health and the health of others. You decide to drink and drive. Not only could you kill yourself, but you could kill others if you crashed into them. Or number three, it helps destroy the quality of the environment. Not throwing away your trash properly would be a good example of that. Down below we have a gentleman. Obviously he's partaking in several risk behaviors. We see that he probably doesn't eat very well. He's sitting there on the couch getting no exercise, watching the TV, while he's drinking alcoholic beverages and having a cigarette. The more risk behaviors you do, the more you gamble with your health. This gentleman is performing all these risk behaviors, increasing his risk of having a heart attack or a stroke. In life, the more risk behaviors you do, the more that you gamble that you'll have a stroke, a heart attack, you'll die of an accidental death or anything like this. In life, you want to cut back your risk behaviors so that your health status is higher and we ensure that you have more of a chance of a healthier, longer lasting life. Don't gamble with your health. What does your health status look like? As you see in this chart over here, the younger you are, the more risk preferences you have. You're going to do more things that are riskier because you think you're going to live longer, and some teenagers want to ensure that they don't listen to any authority. But as you get older, you realize that you are mortal. You won't live forever, and that you've got to make healthier choices to ensure that you feel better and you live longer. How are you performing in your life? Are you taking lots of risk behaviors, acting like an immature teenager? Or are you mature for your age, acting like a young adult? Looking to the right here, there's several things our society tells you not to do, several risk behaviors that are bad for you. Think about our gentleman down below. Our gentleman down below is trying to cross this swamp to the dry ground. He's carrying a rucksack, and in it there's all sorts of things in it. Well, let's say that all the things he's carrying on his rucksack represent risk behaviors. The more risk behaviors you put in that rucksack, the more chance you have that you'll bog down that swamp and you can't get across to the other side. Now, we want to ensure in your life you put as little amount of risk behaviors in there as you can so that you have health and you have long-lasting life. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this young lady. Doesn't she look healthy? Mr. McKinney thinks so.